So it was a good test. Like, all right, how are we doing without my salary? It's like, all right, we're fine. Like, let's do this. So I got to quit. It was like the American dream.
This is the Healey Brothers Show.
So first off, we just want to welcome you, Dave, and welcome to the Healey Brothers podcast show. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Super, super busy time of year for you guys.
Yeah.
It's the holiday season. It's cookie season.
It is cookie season.
So I just want to introduce Dave from Halfsies Cookies. We got Nicky, our producer, and then we got Dan, our head content manager that makes sure everything flows right and get going. So, I mean, just for the audience, and we want to know, just if you can give us some more background on Halfsies. I know
Sure.
we all know about you. We met with you a couple of weeks ago. We bought some cookies. We bought a lot more cookies.
You bought
now.
more cookies today.
So if you just want to give a little background on Halfsies, what you guys do and how you started.
Yeah, so we got started actually in 2018 when I started making cookies with a little mixer that I got from, I don't know, Neiman Marcus or whatever. And I started making cookies in my home kitchen, just playing around, trying to make the best cookie that I could eat. And we just kept rocking and rolling and making batch after batch. My wife, who's on Instagram, has like 17,000 followers on Instagram, was taking pictures of these cookies. And people are always like, "Oh, when can I buy them? When can I buy them?" And I'm like, "They're not for sale. They're for me to eat." And I was only making like a dozen at a time. And then back in 2018, I took 3 dozen to Easter for to my wife's family's house, and they my mother-in-law put them out, but was cutting them all in half. She said they were all too big. So I was watching. I was a little annoyed by that fact, and I was watching, and as people were going down the dessert line, they were taking a half of each cookie, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. Like, just from like a social perspective, I'm like, I know most people are like, oh, I just have a little bite of this, and it's like, all right, I'll take a small slice of cake. So I was like, that's interesting. Like, there's no way they would have taken a cookie and a half, but they took a half of each. So that just kind of like struck me. And then going into the end of 2018, my wife and I were talking. I was still making them for Christmas and for fun, and I said, let's give this a shot. So in 2019, we filed the LLC and we got started, and here we are.
That's wild to me. And no background in making cookies at all.
Zero.
And
what
were you doing before? If you just want to give that.
Yeah, I was an educator. I was for a long time I was crisis interventionist at Dutchess County BOCES, and then I went on to be a dean of students in Middletown. I got my admin degree, and then I went from Middletown to Ketchum High School, where I was the class of 2020 assistant principal, and I completely pivoted. In 2020, I quit my job to do this, so it's been a wild run.
Were there any like initial challenges when you first quit being the AP at Ketchum and really took Halfsies full time?
Not at that time, to be very honest. Sales were pretty easy going into. From the beginning, to be honest, like things were pretty easy. In 2020, when I quit, we were doing record number of sales for us. So the decision was actually pretty easy. I took the profit that we had while I was still working, and I actually paid off my student loans. And that was a big part of our budget that we were like, all right, well, I actually paid off my truck first, and then I paid off my student loans. And, I sat with my wife. I was like, I think we could do it on your salary, even if we make $0. From this, and the money that we save, we had a small baby at the time. Now we have 2 kids, but it was just my son. He was, I guess, 8 months old when I quit. The money we would save and him going to daycare, I was like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I think this is the time. So I said, all right, enough's enough. And I actually took a leave at the end of 2020 school year, and the back half of that leave was unpaid. So it was a good test. Like, all right, how are we doing without my salary? It's like, all right, we're fine. Like, let's do this. So I got to quit. It was like the American dream, you know what I mean? And now I'm in the pool swimming by myself, which is, for an entrepreneur, it's scary. It's definitely scary, but I don't know if I could ever go back to wearing swimmies again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could. Being my own boss is a lot of fun. And my social media will show.
Yeah, it's,
I'll start to have more fun.
Is it 62, 63,000 followers?
62. We bump up and down. We're at 62 now.
Okay.
We were higher at one point, and I actually hired a guy on Fiverr. Will check your following to see if you have like how many bots you have, and they identify your bots and like bad followers, like people who like we were doing giveaways for a while. Not a good idea. So
we talk about that all the time too.
We do indeed.
Not a great idea, because you get giveaway people. So you have people that follow 7,500 accounts. Like, I don't know how many of you guys follow on Instagram or whatever, but if you're following that many people, there's no chance you're engaging with all those accounts. You're probably not even seeing it. Yeah. So it's a follower, but it's an empty follower, let alone like they're probably not going to be a customer.
Exactly.
We picked them up because they wanted free stuff and a giveaway. So, so we gave away, or I got that list, and I probably deleted 10,000 followers. If I didn't, we'd be over 70, no doubt about it.
Yeah, so we talk about that all the time. Like, we were getting carried away with our new TikTok. Like, oh my God, we're getting so many followers so fast. I was like, but are these followers in Orange, Dutchess, Putnam, Sullivan County? Like,
I checked the analytics, and we got Abu Dhabi, we got like Japan. I was like, oh man, and those are like the majority of our followers.
Right.
Yeah. So I had to like tell them, like I honed them in. I was like, guys, we have to do organic audience reach in our area. Cars don't teleport, and it's expensive to ship cars. So yeah, we'll ship cars, but it comes at a cost. So like we refocused. I was like, I'd rather have 100,000 or 50,000 followers in Orange County than 500,000 followers and 250,000 of them be in South Korea or wherever it is around the world.
Right.
So it's I mean that's a great point. And we think the giveaways they're just people just tagging you and following it, and they're not spending any money.
No, it works it's definitely, there's a cost to it. There's no doubt about it. Like, I'm sure through giveaways we picked up some customers. There's no doubt about it. But we also picked up a lot of bad followers too, and like bots. What did it for me was besides that, because in my head I was like, well, if we pick up a couple customers and like, let's say every 6 months I go and do that cleansing, with the guy from Fiverr that runs the account, and I go through and remove follower after follower. Even if we did that, fine. But we started getting like, people were getting scammed. People were creating fake Halfsies accounts and like saying, oh, you won, sending messages, oh, you won, fill out this link. And it was like asking for social security number and credit card.
Wow. And
I was like, I can't deal with this. This is not worth it now. Now my customers are mad at me because we did a giveaway and they're getting scammed.
Meanwhile, you're trying to do something good for your consumer.
Exactly.
Do something good for your consumer.
I said, all right, enough's enough.
I can't even believe that. The only time we've talked about giveaways that maybe for our business model it's a little different that it can benefit is when you do like some type of collaboration. I think we were talking about this like quarterly with another local business, because obviously for us, like, local followers are the biggest thing. Like you said, like, we can't ship a car. Maybe for other business models, like if you're selling T-shirts, you can send those anywhere. So it's a little different business model. But if you're going to do a giveaway, for us, it was like collaborating with another local business, because you can get local followers. So, I mean, even with what you're saying with Fiverr and certain bad followers, what you can do is find the analytics of, let's say you gain 7,500 followers, and after you go through and you cleanse the account, let's say there's 500 left, do the analytics, say, oh, I made X amount of percentage followers I gained that are actually real customers in a local community, and they're engaging with my account. So you can try and figure out, like, how beneficial it really was, even though you got 7,000 bad followers. But I guess the only problem that you really ran into was those fake accounts that were asking for like the social. That's a problem. That's definitely a problem.
That was game over for me.
And I'd rather give away something to a consumer I have and like make a connection with them, like you said, a collaboration, like
definitely.
connect with you and like, hey, here's a free oil change. Thanks for doing. We'll do cookies and stuff like that. Create content together and have fun with it. Like, you're just giving it away to some random person. The chances are they're probably not going to buy from you.
Probably not.
But I just want to pivot here a little bit. I just want to go to the guy.
Before you pivot, I have a question. Did you ever bring the cookies in to your students?
All the time, yeah.
And what was their feedback?
They loved it. Yeah, I mean, but they would eat school food too. You got to remember that.
But you had to be the fun AP because of that, though.
No doubt.
You're bringing in cookies.
No doubt. And that actually it buys you a little like a little social credit too. So like next time, that kid who maybe I don't even know they came and took cookies, because what I would do, I would take all the extras, the ones that don't make a full dozen, I would put them in a tray, and I would bring them all in, and come and take them. It's better than throwing them out. Like, and for what it's worth, a lot of my former students that did that have ordered. They're like, yo, those are good.
Yeah, I was
Like,
just gonna ask.
yeah. So, but if that kid was acting out, I'd just be like, hey, man, what are you doing? And they may give other APs a hard time, but they took my cookies. So like now they it's almost like they owe me something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that was easy, social credit.
All right.
Yeah.
So just real quick, the guy who brought us, Dan over here, the reason why we know you and know your story and able to buy your phenomenal cookies is Dan. So Dan, if you just want to go around, like, just tell us how you found him, like, and what made you start buying.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to say summer of 2022. I remember vividly. I was in LA working, and I was on. I work out, and I was on my summer cut, and I was towards the end of my summer cut, and I was just craving, like, to just eat, and the cookies popped in my mind, and I'm a huge peanut butter guy, so I knew I was flying back home for at a wedding to go to. I'm like, local, because you see like Crumble Cookies and Fat and Weird Cookie, all those companies who have these these bougie looking cookies, and they, quote unquote, they're phenomenal. So I looked, maybe it's something in the Hudson Valley. So I did a Google search, and Halfsies Cookies popped up. So me being a huge peanut butter guy, the flavor I always love is you want a Reese's Piece of Me, and I ordered that, and I haven't looked back. And I kept ordering. During the winter time, I have my one cheat meal a day.
Nice.
On Saturdays I'll do it after I crush myself in the gym. But obviously just following Dave and just quality top notch guy and just very down to earth person. It's definitely a brand that I trust, and obviously meeting Dave and getting to know him, it's the cookie's great, but also just the person behind the cookies even better. So,
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found us.
Me too.
Reese's Pieces, or whatever you said it was. What's the exact name?
You want a Reese's piece of me?
Yeah.
I just go with all
what's
of
in
them.
the bag?
It's easy.
Way easier. I just order a whole box of all of them.
I think
so
you got a sampler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a sampler.
Yes.
Did you get?
So I have a sampler in the freezer at home, but I ordered this time gingerbread because Christmas, getting the seasonal flavors.
Getting festive. Okay. So no peanut butter this time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, I mean, just a simple Google search, it comes up in local business. So what makes you want to shop local? Is it just...
Yeah.
I know why for us. Obviously, I love small business. I wouldn't do this with Crumble or anyone else, but...
Well, thank you.
Yeah, shopping local. It just, to me, I grew up in Hudson Valley all my life. I was born in Poughkeepsie, and just like the local community, just local people. Even just my friends who have local businesses. I just want to support people who and it just gets back to local economy. It just, to me, in my eyes, it's the right thing to do. Like, you can people buy like Nike, Adidas, or even go down maybe to the city to get a haircut. But my friend, give him a plug, Jay's Barbershop up on Delafield Street in Poughkeepsie. I just want to support him versus traveling a little bit farther for someone who I do not know. So
I used to go to Jay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back before I started shaving my head. I used to go to Jay.
Jay's a good guy. I know Sam, who's the previous owner.
Yeah,
So
me
Sam,
too.
he and I are really close.
Look at that. Small business. And from a younger demographic, which loyalty tends to go by the wayside.
Sure.
And they go for online, easiest way to do it. But, I mean it's actually impressive. You searched locally, came up, and...
Yeah. What was it that you had searched up exactly when you found Halfsies?
Oh, goodness. I just said...
The best damn cookies in the Hudson Valley.
Yeah, I just said, I believe it was like, order cookies on like gourmet cookies online, something to that effect, and I might have thrown like peanut butter in there, and within the Hudson Valley, and Halfsies popped up, and went down the rabbit hole, went to the website, went down the social media, but also too was really appealing is the amount of cookies that are quote unquote on the bench. You could search on the website. That Dave has the offering, what they have that's coming for the day, but also too you can see like you can scroll through like what they've done in the past.
You've been on the website a lot, it seems like.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So now, is there anything that you guys have specifically on your website or anything? Because it seems like whatever is set up that your website, he utilizes SEO, like search engine optimization, very well. That he was just able to search up gourmet cookies in the Hudson Valley. So is that something that you guys have focused on with some type of description that you've put in your website, or is that just kind of like a...
I don't know, to be honest.
You don't know? Okay.
I think it was a little bit of dumb luck. I know I went down, I had something for our site that would, I don't know, it was an app through Shopify, and it did something with our pictures and made our picture like tags would match for SEO. I don't know much about it, but I was like, this seems
that makes
easy. It's like $2 a month. I was like, let's see what it does, and clearly it works.
Definitely did work. All right.
Well, it's taking the images and using the SEO to show it. So, I mean, and Shopify is the king of pretty much everything.
Yeah,
Shopify
Shopify makes it really easy.
definitely the
There's
king.
no doubt about it.
All right. So, coming back, when your first sales started, was it all predominantly just your following and your engagement from your wife's
Yeah.
account? Because your wife has a pretty solid following too, right?
Yeah, it was all from Heather's account in the beginning. she, the very first ones we had, Harry Slacken is a candle maker. He's pretty big. He's tight with Tommy Hilfiger, and he's pretty big into business. He sells his stuff on QVC. He ordered in that first drop we did.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a lot of like beauty publicists and stuff, and that really helps with our first round. We also did like a couple, like the first couple months, we did a few corporate mailings that were huge, because we were combining with makeup or whatever and sending to an influencer list of like 200 people. And so we were getting a lot. We really got a push early because of my wife. And then certain influencers really fell in love with us, like Amber Lancaster was a big one. And she would post for us all the time. And she was a big help. Instagram's kind of changed. I'm sure you guys are feeling that. It's not as easy, as it was.
Definitely not as easy. It's changed a lot.
Yeah, so granted for us, so we're not selling Lamborghinis and Ferraris, so the engagement's not there. We're selling Kia, Hyundai, Chevrolet. Granted, they're beautiful vehicles, they work well, but we're selling the workers'
not a
truck.
Lamborghini, though.
So it's not a Lamborghini. We're gonna get on the clicks.
So now, is that social advice that you would give all other social businesses, or not
What's
social
that?
business, small businesses, like focusing on your social media?
I mean,
So
that's how
imagine
we're
it's
built.
that's some advice that you would give other small businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were built on Instagram, and that's it. Like Facebook and TikTok and Twitter are all kind of an afterthought. And honestly, that's probably bad foresight from me, because once Instagram started throttling down a little bit, and they started pivoting to compete with TikTok, it went from a picture, photograph site to a full entertainment site, videos and short clips and dancing and jokes, and it wasn't just, here's a nice picture of a cookie.
Are you gonna start doing the dancing?
We did do dancing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work with
No,
cookies.
we hired Jess from actually The Wolf with CJ and Jess. She would come in every week, actually on Thursdays, and she would be like, all right, this song is hot, this dance is hot, we're going to do this. And Trey, one of our former workers, was super shy. He hated Thursday. He was in a bad mood all day because he knew Jess was going to come in and be like, all right, we got to do this dance. And, I'm going to teach it to you. And Trey would just get so mad. Anyway, but yeah, we tried that. It doesn't work. The only thing that seems to work is like what we're doing now, is just being real with the people and engaging with our audience as like authentically as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you're being yourself, you're authentic, and I think people, whether they like it or not, they enjoy it because it's the real. You're not being fake to them, and also it's good to see. I mean, you're one of very few that does it digitally. So,
I mean, you're very honest. Also, you do a lot of videos about customers' experience. Or
Yeah,
they
recent.
write to you.
Yeah, recent. That's kind of been the move. Really, Instagram for us I was just kind of giving up on it. I was like, all right, we're just kind of an email company at this point. And we got a weird interaction from this guy, Rhino Jones.
Sounds like you'll never forget him.
I'll never forget him. And I just remember it was so bizarre. He trolled one of our ads, I think is how it started. And he said something stupid, and I DM'd him directly. And I was like, actually, maybe he said something like, oh, they're just 6 cookies, whatever. So I DM'd him directly. I don't remember what I said, but he was like, don't you bloody hell DM me, private message me. And I was like, whoa, this guy's bizarre. And then, so we had a wild interaction, and then he emailed who he thought was somebody else, which is so funny. It's like, you don't realize that we aren't Crumble. Like you got the baker, you got HR, you got everybody, you got the cleaner.
Just me.
Yeah, like you got everybody. It's me and Cody. So he emailed the thing on the website, and he was far more professional in that one. So I was like, this is too funny not to share. So I shared it, and it went crazy. Like, we got more engagement on that video than we had in a very long time at that point. And I was like, that's interesting. And I went back to doing the old stuff, cookie pictures, maybe a dance or something. And I was like, that ain't it. Like, and I remember the CEO of Instagram said at one point, he said, people always ask him, how do I get my reach up? And he's like, well, do some things, see what works, and do more of that. Like, if that's what your audience wants, then that's what you need to do. And that always kind of stuck with me. Like, he's giving you the keys of how to build Instagram. And
yeah, he's coding it right now. While he's telling
exactly. You. He's changing on me right now is what he's doing. Yeah. But so I was like, all right, we don't get a lot of negative interactions. But when we do, I'm going to post it. And I kind of have like this weird criteria now where I'm like, all right, well, if they're negative and they're extremely rude, I'm going to do a video. Or if they're negative and they're wrong, like if they say something about our product that's just not right. The one lady said that we didn't advertise that we vacuum seal the cookies, right? And I showed her that we do advertise that. It's right on our website. Someone said that they're hard and inedible. So I did a video showing that you have to warm them as the packing slip suggests, and I said, look, these are cookies that are 2 weeks old. They've been sitting in our extras tray that I heated up, and they were mushy. Like, just don't come at me with nonsense, or I'm going to call you out.
Well, don't worry. I like your cookies any way they come. So I haven't decided which way I like them yet.
Wait, so with the way that type of video strategy works, I get exactly what really sparked you to do that, because he said, don't private message me. So I'm assuming that's what sparked you to be like, all right, so we're not going to private message these people anymore. We're just going to blast them on our actual page.
Yeah, I mean, you're creating some controversy, but you're also telling the truth about your product and showing your product.
No doubt.
And I think a consumer, they think they could just hide behind a keyboard sometimes.
No doubt.
And it happens to us, and there is controversy, but we also want to make that consumer's day better. Like, we don't want the problem to go unsolved. You're trying to solve their issue and show them that, hey, this is how you can do it to make your product better.
Right.
They did buy something from you. So
Yeah.
we're the same
Sometimes.
way. Yeah.
Sometimes. Some controls, but not.
But a lot of ours, we have issues. Every business does.
No doubt.
It's you can't just sit there and just let it go by the wayside. You have to act on it. You have to try to make it right, and also handle it and show the truth to the other consumers that are getting involved with your product, because they want to know the truth, because they're going to see that and like, hey, that guy didn't even respond. Like, is that true? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Did they have a bad batch or something? Whatever it is.
Right.
It's the same in the industry, just different industry. So I just want to take a few steps back here. You talked about like the affiliates. You have some famous people eat your cookies, review them, which is awesome. Like, how often, and it's also on your website if you want to be an affiliate. So I saw that, which is pretty cool. Like, how often are you doing affiliates, and like, are you really going after it? Is that your main marketing scheme, or
It was for a very long time. Like the first probably 2 years of us doing this, that was the bread and butter. It was like, all right, we were hot. We sold out for 3 weeks in a row, but now we're slowing down a little bit. Let me send to whatever, another pack to this person who follows us, who has 50,000 followers. We send, I get their address, that we send, they post, and boom, we get a push. But now everyone's kind of dealing with what we're dealing with. And some people may have 50,000 followers, but their engagement's garbage.
Yeah.
So when they post our cookies, nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. And so that it's kind of turned into a bit of a waste for us. We had the affiliate link where people can apply. They get 15% commission. Their people get 15% off. I'll be honest, I haven't seen great success with that. We do a lot of product for story posts. That's probably been our best push, but even recent, not so much. Like, I hate to say, I don't know how, unless you're doing paid stuff with these influencers, I don't think you're getting what you want, except for Bethany Frankel.
Yeah, so you want to tell a little bit about that story and who she is a little bit? Yeah,
Bethany Frankel is a Real Housewife of, I believe, New Jersey, and just happened to cross paths with my wife in the beauty industry at one point over the summer. And my wife.
So Heather's doing it again. Shout out to Heather.
Shout out to Heather. She gave us this good push, and so we got her address and we sent. And at the time, she reviews everything, and she's kind of like Simon Cowell. She's like she's brutally honest. She's not going to sugarcoat things, and if she doesn't like it, she'll tell you. And I think her audience really, really likes that. So we sent to her over the summer, and she never posted. It's fine. We send cookies to influencers, especially big ones like that, and they don't post, and that's okay. I look at it as I'd rather her not post than post something bad, right? Like, okay, fine. Maybe she tried them, didn't like them, and kept her mouth shut, which is great. But she posted a video 2 weeks ago or so and said she loved them. Her and her daughter tried them and loved them. And then she posted another video the next day and said that they were the best cookies she's ever tasted. And she's like, I think I've tasted every cookie in this country, and these are the best. And when she said that, it's like, not only was it awesome for business, but it was almost validating. You know what I mean? Like
for yourself.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was like, all right, well, the next time somebody says that, oh, they're whatever, very mid. Okay, all right. Well, Bethany Frankel likes them, so see you later.
And she made two, and she created 2 videos, not just one.
And for what it's worth, Heather knows a lot of PR people, and she was like, my friends were calling, freaking out, like saying companies would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for her to say this, and she did 2 videos for nothing. Like
impressive.
so that she really
It's a
liked
phenomenal
it.
product.
It wasn't
they
for
just wrote
nothing.
there.
She did 2 videos for the best cookies. she's ever tasted.
So you could say your cookies are worth $100,000.
That's right. We sent a lot. I mean, I think we sent like 10 packs or so. We sent a big box.
Did she have a favorite?
She liked the churro. Can I curse on here? I mean,
Actually, he
we-
can. The captions app automatically bleeps out.
right.
When I said shit the other day, I did it and it automatically bleeped it.
Oh, that's terrific.
I mean, I have a bad mouth. I've gotten better with these guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I honestly, I used to get a little nervous when I was a principal, talking in public, because I was always afraid I was going to curse, because I do have a bad mouth, but I never did. But I would always get the mic and be like, all right, don't say F, don't say F.
yeah.
But anyway, she said the churro would knock off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh,
So
man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I mean that's cool. It's cool as hell, and it just says your cookies last the test of time in the freezer.
no doubt.
I mean that's 5 months.
Yeah, it was about
That's
5
crazy.
months. I think we sent in July.
I mean mine aren't gonna last a week, but besides that,
You have a lot of cookies that you order. If those don't last a week, that's ridiculous.
well, you got to
a lot of
see.
people.
There's people eating, but obviously I'm gonna give some to other people. So
Spread the love.
I went through a whole pack myself. So.
Okay, fair enough.
So we talk about small business. I think you were telling us a couple of weeks ago about how you just started doing pickup from your house and
Yeah.
all that. And so obviously that means more local.
Yeah.
How has that business plan changed to doing more local, to shipping? And if you just want to talk about that a little bit.
We did just shipping for a long time for a couple reasons. It was during COVID. So people were always very wary of, coming in interactions and stuff with people. So we just said, all right, we're just going to ship. USPS at the time had a pretty good 1-day window with about, 90 miles from Marlboro all around was 1 day. Maybe not 90 north, but into the city it was 1 day. Parts of Long Island were 1 day, northern New Jersey, basically all your Healey area, all 1 day, which was great. But about a year ago, they flipped things up a little bit, and now our mail goes to Newburgh, but then goes to Newark for sorting, and then back to Newburgh. So it's not always 1 day. So now, like, a lot of local mail will actually be 2 days, and I'm like, well, that's annoying. Like, now my local people, I was like, you know what? It was right before Christmas last year, maybe 2 years ago, whenever they made the switch. And I said, you know what, we're just going to local pickup. For the people that need their cookies now, they're within 20 miles, they'll come get them. Like, let's do it. So it's been really good. And it's kind of fun to see, like, the faces. Being an internet company, you get some emails, but everything's kind of faceless, And you get the avatars on Instagram, but you don't get to have that human interaction. Now people come, and sometimes I catch them in the driveway and, say what's up and, thank them for ordering the cookies. And it's been good. It's been like embracing that community, which is nice.
For people that don't know, he has a full serious bakery in his basement with crazy oven, refrigerators, and we got to see it firsthand. It's pretty amazing. Down there.
It's pretty cool. It's wild. Every so often I go down there, I'm like, I can't believe this is my basement. Like, this is
Taking working from home to a different level.
no doubt. It's a full
That's
commercial
definitely a
commercial
different
kitchen.
So like, where is predominantly like your sales right now? Are they mostly local, or I know you said one
pretty
time you had
even.
someone in Guam you ship cookies to.
We ship to Guam. We ship all over the place. Even last night I was on live, and mainly because I was bored, baking, because of Bethany, we're a little upside down this week. So I got to bake at night, and I was baking. I went on live, and people were like, oh, checking in from Southern California. Oh, we're in, Rio Grande, Texas. Kansas here. It's like, wow, this is cool.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's like
You popped up on mine. When I woke up, it still said you were live. So when you went on, so I guess I track you. So I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, it was that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Every time, moments like that, it's like, holy moly, And then we have local. We have people that reach out and like, it's cool. It really is cool. We haven't won Best Cookie in the Hudson Valley yet.
How's that possible?
I'll tell you why.
So we're talking politics probably now.
Yeah. So we, the first year that we were in business in 2019, and listen, shout out Hudson Valley Mag. They have covered us several times. Hudson Valley Post as well. Valley Table is going to do a story on us soon. The Hudson Valley has embraced us. Something in Albany as well. I don't remember the publication, but the point is their voting changed for the best in the Hudson Valley. It used to be I could tell my customers who are nationwide, hey, go in here, log in, give them your email, go to question 38, vote us best cookie in the Hudson Valley. Well, now you have to vote for 5 things. And the problem is my customers don't know 5 things. So they have to vote for 5 different, not just cookie. All right, now they have to pick a coffee place and this, and they don't know it. So I tell them to vote, and they were like, I don't know. It wouldn't take my vote with just the best cookie. I have to vote for other things. I'll tell them to vote for Healey as well.
Yeah, they can vote for Healey.
Yeah, but yeah. So at that point, I was like, all right, this just wasn't, and it's a smart move by them. It's supposed to be best of the Hudson Valley from voters in the Hudson Valley. I totally get it. I understand why they did that, but I still think we're the best in the Hudson Valley. It is what it is.
I mean, I don't know one other cookie that even competes. Would
Thank
even
you.
be in the same zip code.
Thank you. Yeah, so it is what it is.
It's not like you can go to ShopRite and get a cookie like that. It's just impossible.
No, that's why I was baking them, to be very honest.
Yeah.
Because it did start off as, like you said, for yourself. That's how it started off.
It all started out because I couldn't quench that. I couldn't satisfy that hunger for that perfect cookie. So
So now you said your business model for the pickup is you leave it in a rocking chair.
I do, yeah.
So they just come, they see their name on the package, and
Sure.
they get it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Starbucks business model, which I would imagine. Did that up your sales with doing local
pickup.
Because that's part of the only reason why sometimes I go to Starbucks. I don't have to deal with a person.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah, I mean, if they ordered mail order from me prior, they didn't have to deal with anybody either. This is more like, all right, I can get it now. Like, for example, today, it's the Thursday before Christmas, right? There's no mail Sunday. So if we ship today, you may not get it Saturday, right? But if you were willing to drive, like, you can come pick up. So like right now, I think our local pickup over the last 2 days we've had several local pickups.
It's probably insane.
Yeah, and so what happens is they put the order in, and then, I mean, I'm sure, Dan knows, he's done it. You get the notification via email, like, hey, your cookies are ready. Here are your pickup instructions. At that point, they get my cell phone number. I just ask that they give me a heads up that when they're coming, so I can kind of like prepare. They don't have to ring the bell or anything. They just go. It's on the rocking chair with their name on it. But I just want to make sure that, like, you're not waking up my kids, like, who may be napping. And if you wake up the napping daughter, especially the wife.
Plus, you don't have to worry about shipping, going to the post office, getting the label.
No doubt.
Having your package
Saves
lost.
a couple bucks. There's no doubt.
And
it's
then
$8.
Our
that they
mail
save.
system is like so scattered. Like
It is.
It's crazy.
It's reliably unreliable.
Yeah.
They will lull you into a false sense of believing.
And then they jack the price up.
And then, they jack the price up, or they do some. We shipped to a wedding. We shipped 80 packs. 80. They lost them. They didn't make it to the wedding. I had to refund all the money.
That's insane.
It was in Georgia. Yeah.
Wow.
I was so mad.
I might have to grab some for my wedding too.
And I shipped them, like, I said to them, like, listen, this sometimes happens. I'm going to ship all the boxes a week in advance. If you get them early, if you have the freezer space at the venue, put them in the freezer and just thaw them the day before. Okay, great. Sounds good. I never made it.
Wow. Sounds like the
So that was
employees ate
almost
them.
So there's 12 in a pack. So what is that? 960 halves, right?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. It's good math, Nikki.
Quick math.
I'm pretty
Did you guys
Don't-
prepare that before?
No, we didn't prepare that before.
Carry the
I'm
one.
pretty sure I'm right. So now, Dan, something I want to know, because I wasn't here the first day that you guys did a video.
Yeah.
How did that start with like a Healey Halfsies thing? Like, did you reach out to Dave? Like,
Yeah, shot me DM on Instagram, and
Yeah.
here we are.
Here we are.
so you obviously want to work with Dave because you're obsessed with his cookies.
Yeah.
What made you want to do something with us at Healey? Did you know about us prior?
Yeah.
Or was it
I actually, after you left the other day, I was thinking, we bought 3 Chevys from you, from Healey Chevy when you were on 52. And then I actually bought my first Jeep from you, on 52, right where it was serviced. So I think I'm 4 cars deep with you at this
We
point.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And your uncle worked for us back in the day.
My uncle did. Yeah. My uncle George worked there for many years. So yeah, so that's why. And it's always been like, and it didn't even click until my cousin, his daughter, saw the video and commented like a bunch of hearts, and I was like, oh, all right. So that meant a lot. Like, her cousin and her dad's employee for a long time, it was like a full circle moment. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah. So
This
if
is
you
really
don't
cool.
know Fate, we actually got to Dave's house. He had his Jeep. It was the Gladiator.
The Gladiator.
Go in there. He goes, "Hey, my Jeep's not working. Why don't you start? Why don't you start?" So the day we got there, it was working perfectly. I call Bill. We get it done. We get it all fixed.
Yeah.
But it was like almost perfect timing. We show up. Jeep doesn't work. Doesn't start.
Yeah, it
Doesn't
was
anything.
beautiful.
We're buying cookies, and the same day it was awesome to see.
Divine intervention.
Yeah.
For sure.
Couldn't work better.
So you both own Gladiators.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, big Jeep guy.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm a Jeep guy too.
Oh, Wrangler or
I drive the Grand Cherokee.
very cool.
The Trackhawk, the one with the big motor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Not driving it today.
Those are dope.
I baby it, baby. They're not making it anymore because they're going away from it. But
Yeah, those are cool.
so, Dave, I got one last question.
Yeah.
I know we always talk about small business and loyalty and all that stuff and shopping local. What does that mean to you? What does small business, shopping local,
Yeah.
and loyalty mean to you?
Honestly, like before I had a small business, I'll be very honest, it didn't really mean much. But now that I have one, it's so, I know how much, like when we get a sale, I know what that, like how that makes me feel. Like that thing goes off my watch or on my phone, and it's like, wow. Especially like if it is a local customer, I'm like, oh, this is dope. You know, it's like, so now it's important for me to also shop small as much as I possibly can. And, you know, as we probably, I mean, we go to small business all the time now. Like, you know, we make it a point. I'm a little guilty with the coffee department. I don't go to Ready as much as I should.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Oh,
I saw the video.
don't tell it
yeah.
to him.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's right behind my house. I go and
Which-
work from there.
Which one?
The one in LaGrange.
Oh, in LaGrange.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's right behind my house.
He goes there 3 times a day. He's shaking by the end of the day.
Dude, it hit me this morning, man. I had to start my day off with it.
And
Yeah.
the GM here is he's really good friends with the owner. I'm not.
Brian, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I could tell you how my love for Ready Coffee started, though. Like, I'm pretty honest.
Oh, let's hear
Let's hear it.
let's hear the rest of his story then you can
Okay,
chime in.
yeah,
So
go
with loyalty and
Yeah. So
shopping local.
now I just make it a point. I no doubt I make it a point to shop as local as much as I can. It's so important for the community. You know, especially during COVID, you watch all these restaurants close their doors. I mean, that was the saddest thing. You know, some of my favorite places went out of business, and it's like, damn, man, maybe we could have eaten there a couple more times instead of going whatever. And it's important for the local economy. You got to shop local. Smaller is better.
And the more loyalty you have lately, we always talk about loyalty at Healey Brothers. Like if you stay within your community, you're serving them. You're always going to have their back, whether it's the customer having your back or you having the customer's back when something
Sure.
happens, because stuff happens in life.
No doubt.
And everyone needs help. And if you keep to that local feeling and local vibe,
Yeah.
it's so life changing for your community, and it's awesome just to get back. I mean, it was instilled in me from my grandfather. My dad's like, he will go down, he won't even order off Amazon. He'll go down to the hardware store and make sure he gets it. Even if they don't have it, he'll just wait. He'll order it from them
Yeah.
to get a small.
Yeah.
He's just that guy. Or the local bite shop, or
Sure.
instead of going to the highway stores. He's just that guy. And I mean, I'm a true believer in it. Obviously, we
Yeah.
work with you and we talk about it all the time. And also, yeah, it's so important to us. So
Yeah.
we appreciate it. You want to tell your Ready
Yeah.
Coffee story?
All right,
real
so I'm
quick?
very honest about this, right? So remember, I think we weren't recording yet, but I said I couldn't drive for like over a year.
Sure.
So like that was for like medical reasonings, like I had like epilepsy come up, right? So you couldn't drive. So recently, like right before that all happened, they built the Ready Coffee behind my house. So when I say it's behind my house, like my house is in the cul-de-sac, there's the Walgreens and stuff, and the Ready Coffee is here. So
Right.
whether it was the winter, the summer, the fall, I used to just walk through the woods behind my house, walk through the plaza, get to Ready Coffee, and I would just work from there because we can work hybrid, remote, and whatnot. And that's really where the addiction started. Like that's how simple it is. And now I go there,
And that's
like,
the only one that
most
has a
days.
cafe, right?
That is the only one that has a cafe.
I mean, talk about divine intervention, right? Like,
yeah,
That was
that's-
just a genius business model right there.
Yeah.
Their business model is phenomenal.
I wish
Most of them are just drive-throughs.
I know. I wish that you could order ahead. That's really the only thing that stops you from going there sometimes when I have like, especially if I have my kids with me.
like an app or something.
Yeah,
Right.
like an app, like order ahead to get me out of there.
You just have
quick.
to do what I do. Go there a lot, and they know your order.
That is
so I
nice.
don't even order anymore.
Yeah.
I just like walk through the door, and I just wait for them to check out the other people, and then I just get to the counter, and like every worker at the LaGrange location pretty much knows my order.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
So
your
that's
order?
Medium hot Storm King. So it's like a chocolate hazelnut.
Yeah, the Storm King's good.
Yeah, I love it. The only thing that's terrible about it, it's definitely not good for you. The
Definitely
milk that
not.
they froth is chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It's like that's where the chocolate flavor comes
Oh,
from.
you're drinking real healthy stuff.
Yeah, definitely not healthy.
I often will just bring them cookies at Ready Coffee, and they'll comp my drink, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll just come with an extra couple packs, I give them to the Ready people, and then I go to the one at Newburgh. So then I go right to the car wash right there. I give them a couple extra, and they really spray me down good. It's like, all right.
Now,
So-
Ready Coffee cares local as well, because something I don't know if all their location has. So my sister works. I don't know if any of you have heard of Chocker Bowls. They have a location at Eastvale.
Yeah.
So they actually sell their Power Balls as some of the food that they sell.
Oh, really?
So I don't know where their other food comes from. Like they have like some croissants and like
They're
waffle
big
tops and
about
stuff like that.
shopping local too.
So they do actually care for local themselves. Obviously, they're a small business, and so is Chocker Bowls. So my sister will go there. They will drop off Power Balls, and yeah, they're like some protein thing. But so they
So
care
Dave-
for small business as well.
Sorry, I got one more. If you had to give advice to people trying to start a business or someone that wants to start their own business, they have a passion for it. What would you say? I'm just curious because you just did it at a whim. You didn't really know
Yeah.
it, but you found a passion. You love cookies and then just went
Yeah.
for it.
I guess a couple things. If opportunity knocks, answer the door, right? Like that's definitely been my saving grace, is that I did this, because if I didn't, and if I was scared to do it or scared to quit, who knows what would have happened, like this business, even if it ended today, would have been an absolute blessing for my family. It put us financially in a great spot. I'm very, very thankful to all of our customers for it. But be prepared as an entrepreneur for the ups and downs that come with it. Try not to get too high. Try not to get too low. Money comes and goes, and I think that's it. Like it's not easy. You're on 24/7. Actually, one of the TAs where I just spoke asked me, how often are you working? I said, well, I work a little bit every minute of the day. Like I'm always thinking about something, or responding to an email, or responding to DMs on a website, or thinking of the next content, or adjusting my schedule to come to a podcast or a speaking engagement with, kids at BOCES, or you're just always on. So you gotta be prepared for that. It's not a 7 to 3 or 9 to 5. It's 24/7, 365.
But there's nothing better than being your own boss, from what you said before.
Nothing better.
And I don't think later in your life you'll ever have any regrets.
No.
I think that's the biggest thing people and young people do, is they have regrets because they're like, why didn't I start that, or at least give it a try? Especially when you're young. I mean,
No
you
doubt.
had a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Great things going on. Family
Yeah.
started, and you took the leap and went
Yeah.
all in. I think it's another thing. You went all in. You said,
All in.
You said, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Yeah.
So-
Is it? I wish I knew all the details. I should have read up on it, but I had some guy via Instagram who we were friends with. He was friends with the brand. He gave me this crazy story about this explorer who led an army to take over this territory. I want to say it may have been in Mexico, but whatever. I should have read up on it before I tell the story. But the army was way outnumbered as they were going in, and his army was scared, right? So he got there and he told them, all right, get off the boats. We're going to regroup. And he burned all of the boats to send the message that we are going to win or we will die. That's it. There are no other options. So this guy knew that I was doing both. And he's like, dude, you got to burn the boats. I was like, what the hell are you talking about, guy? He's like, you got to burn the boats. He tells me the story. I was like, yo, I got to burn the boats. And that became like the mantra in my household for a long time. I was just yelling, burn the boats.
That's
burn
awesome.
the boats.
That's awesome.
And
You get it tattooed on
Yeah,
yourself.
that-
I should just
Yeah.
just a boat on
Yeah.
fire. People are like, what are you talking about? And actually, when I gave my resignation letter to quit, I posted the resignation letter on Instagram. The captions were just burning boats.
That's awesome.
Not everyone knew. That guy knew what I was talking
Yeah.
about, but yeah, and that was it. So you just got to burn the boats. So if anyone looking to start a business, go all in, and give it everything. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
But at least you'll get
Yep.
to live with no regrets. And
No doubt.
You gave it a go, man.
No doubt.
So, all right, Dave, we really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks
That
for
was-
having me.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And hopefully the new gear holds up and all that stuff.
If I have to
Yeah,
come
we'll be
back,
good
I'll
to
come
go.
back. We'll do it again.
yeah. We'll have some fun again. But we'd love to have you back on another time.
Yeah, dope. It'd be great.
All right, Dave.
All right. Thank you so
Dave,
much,
we
guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and follow us at Healey Brothers on all social platforms.